Have you ever longed for a joy so deep that it shines through your darkest hours, filling your heart with hope and light, no matter how bleak things appear? My child, I see every tear you shed and feel every burden you carry. I invite you now to step into a greater understanding of the joy and peace I offer you. A joy so profound that it transcends every earthly circumstance. It is not a fleeting emotion or a temporary high. It is a spiritual gift that flows from my presence into your life. When everything around you seems uncertain or disappointing, I remind you that true joy does not vanish under hardship. Instead, it rises above your fears and disappointments, anchoring you in a sense of well-being that is not dependent on worldly comfort. I speak to your heart, assuring you that you are not alone. Even if your situation does not immediately change, the joy I give is more than enough to sustain you. As you lean on me and learn to see your experiences through the eyes of faith, you will discover an entirely new perspective, one that remains unshaken by the ups and downs of life. I understand that sometimes you feel overwhelmed, as though every difficulty and worry is piling up, blocking your view of the light. Yet I say to you, look up to me. Talk with me about the deepest concerns of your heart. Do not shy away from sharing your pain, confusion, or fears. In our communion, as you bring these burdens to my feet, I will help you see each challenge through my divine perspective. When you learn to see through the lens of eternity, rather than through temporary troubles, your entire outlook shifts. You find new strength to face the tasks and trials in front of you. You realize that your worth and future are not defined by your present circumstance, nor are they limited by the opinions of others. Instead, they are secure in me. As you anchor yourself in this truth, you cultivate the kind of joy that enabled the prophet Habakkuk to declare that even if everything around him failed, if the fields produced no crops, if the livestock were lost, he would still rejoice in me, the one who saves. That same resilient joy is available for you now. You do not need to force yourself to smile or pretend everything is perfect. Instead, acknowledge the struggle, but also acknowledge my power that lifts you above it. Each time you choose to remember my promises instead of fixating on your problems, you take an essential step in living by faith. Faith requires you to trust me even when the outcome is unclear, to believe my words even when the road is dark, and to keep moving forward in assurance that I hold your hand. This inner posture of trust frees you from the slavery of constant worry. Think of how many times in a single day you have the option to trust or to fear. Perhaps you wake up thinking about a difficult conversation you need to have, or a financial stress that seems insurmountable. In that moment, you can either spiral into anxiety or whisper in your heart, I trust you. Each instance of trust draws you closer to my presence, where true joy and peace are found. You might wonder how to begin this daily practice of trust, especially when you feel weak. Start by bringing your attention to me whenever you feel anxious or discouraged. Sometimes it helps to voice a simple prayer. I still rejoice in you, or I trust you with this, please guide me. The power is not in how eloquent your words sound, but in the sincerity and the posture of your heart. As you continue repeating these prayers in different situations, your perspective begins to shift. A small but significant transformation happens within you, like a seed pushing up through the soil to reach the sunlight. At first, it may feel like a fragile growth, but with consistent nurturing through prayer and reflection on my promises, this seed grows into a sturdy plant. Over time, your response to life's struggles becomes grounded in confidence in me rather than in fear of what might go wrong. I also want you to know that learning to view your life from a heavenly perspective takes practice. Just as physical training makes the body stronger, spiritual training builds up your faith and aligns your heart with my will. When you face disappointment because your plans have not turned out as you expected, see that moment as part of your training. Instead of succumbing to despair, come to me and ask for wisdom. Sometimes, I will guide you to take specific steps toward resolving the issue. Other times, I will lead you to accept the situation and find contentment in it, knowing that my ways are higher than yours. Both paths demand faith. Faith to act when needed, and faith to wait quietly in my presence. Do not be discouraged when you encounter difficulties. They are not necessarily an indication that you have failed or that I am displeased with you. Often, these challenges are opportunities for growth and for an outpouring of my grace, which is always sufficient for you. When you shift from a mindset of worry to a mindset of trust, you open your heart to receive more of my transforming love. Even when pain and sorrow linger, my joy can coexist with your tears. This may sound strange to you, but I assure you it is possible. You can hold grief in one hand and my comfort in the other, trusting that I see and understand the complexities of your emotions. My joy is not shallow. It runs deep enough to hold both sorrow and hope at the same time. Consider the moments in the scriptures when my people faced immense challenges. Recall how time and again they discovered that I was their refuge and strength, an ever-present help in times of trouble. They called on me, and I answered them with comfort and direction. Sometimes my answer included a miraculous breakthrough. Other times, it involved the development of patience and endurance. In every case, I remained faithful to them, just as I remain faithful to you. My faithfulness does not waver, even when your faith feels small. When you feel overwhelmed by your frailty, remember that a seed of faith, no matter how tiny, can grow into an unshakable trust if it is nurtured by my presence. Even now, you may be anxious about many things. You might be worried about your family, your future, your finances, or your health. Yet I tell you, there will never be a shortage of things to worry about if you choose that path. Every new day presents new concerns, but if you resolve to trust in me instead, you will find that you are never alone. I stand with you, guiding you and holding you up when you stumble. My peace, which passes all understanding, will guard your heart and mind. This is not just a poetic promise. It is a powerful reality that you can experience in your daily life. Peace is not the absence of conflict or the removal of all troubles. It is the steady assurance that I am in control and that I care for you. When you wake up in the morning, begin your day by seeking my presence. It does not need to be elaborate. Even a brief moment of sincere connection with me can anchor your heart for whatever the day holds. Ask my Spirit to direct your thoughts, to help you prioritize what truly matters, and to remind you of my nearness throughout the day. The more you consciously invite my involvement in your life, the more attuned you become to my gentle leading. You learn to pause before making decisions, allowing me to pour wisdom into your heart. You learn to notice moments of beauty and blessings even in the midst of struggles. And you discover that gratitude can rise from the depths of a troubled spirit when I am present. Some days, you will feel my joy swelling within you as naturally as breathing. Other days, it may be more difficult. In those challenging times, do not condemn yourself for struggling. Remember that I see your journey in its entirety, and I know that growth often occurs in the valleys more than on the mountaintops. A fruit-bearing tree is tested by storms that sway its branches and pelt its leaves with rain. Still, the roots grow deeper, seeking sustenance and stability. In the same way, your soul seeks deeper communion with me when life's storms come. Do not fear those seasons of testing. I am with you, and my promise stands firm. Never will I leave you. Never will I forsake you. My child, let me also speak to you about peace. Peace is not something you must chase after in the world, hoping that if you can just arrange all external factors correctly, you will finally be calm. Instead, peace is a gift I place within you when you relax your frantic grip and trust my guidance. So often, you want to control every detail, fearing that if you do not manage everything perfectly, all will fall apart. But can you see how exhausting that is for your soul? Release your worries to me. Open your hands. Let go of your tight hold on outcomes you cannot fully control. In doing so, you make space to receive the steady tranquility that my spirit longs to give you. Picture yourself walking beside still waters, a serene path that allows you to catch your breath and experience the calm of my presence. Such peace is not dictated by the circumstances of your life. It is cultivated by turning your eyes toward me. Just as you cannot make the sun rise earlier than its appointed time, you cannot force your heart to find peace by your own efforts. My spirit offers you peace as you move through your day step by step, trusting that I am enough for each moment. Whenever anxiety creeps in, pause. Ask me to help you readjust your focus. I never shame you for your human fears or frailties. Instead, I gently remind you that you have a choice: to stay entangled in worry or to look toward me and rest in my care. As you practice entrusting all things into my hands, your plans, your relationships, your dreams, you begin to notice how each surrender leads to a deeper sense of freedom. You realize that I have been guiding you all along, shaping you with my love, and making you more aware of my heart. You see that my grace is sufficient in your weakness, and that my strength shines brightest through your surrendered heart. This is how you grow in spiritual maturity, not by striving to be perfect, but by learning to lean on my perfection. The more you understand that my love is unwavering, the more you allow me to fill you with peace and joy. Living in this state of openness before me also changes how you relate to others. When my peace is rooted within you, you are not so easily shaken by criticism or conflict. You begin to respond to difficult people or tense situations with a calmness and wisdom that surprises even yourself. Your patience grows, your ability to forgive expands, and you become a vessel through which my compassion can flow. The worries and concerns that once dominated your mind lose their intensity because you have placed them in my hands. You still face challenges, but your heart no longer bears the full weight of anxiety. Instead, you step into each situation with the confidence that I am with you and that my plan for your life is far greater than any obstacle. I want you to remember that my peace and my joy are gifts continually offered to you. They are not limited resources that I give sparingly. They are infinite because my nature is infinite. However, these gifts must be actively received. Each day you will be faced with the choice to rely on your own understanding or to lean on me. When you choose me, you invite the flow of my peace and my joy into your thoughts, emotions, and actions. This is not a one-time event, but an ongoing process, a series of moments throughout your day in which you remember my presence and choose to trust. The cumulative effect of these choices transforms your life from the inside out. Let me highlight once more the importance of talking with me. Conversation is the pathway to deeper intimacy. When you voice your concerns, hopes, and even frustrations to me, you open a door for my guidance to enter. It is in this dialogue that you learn the difference between a situation you can change and one you need to accept. Sometimes I will whisper an idea that helps you solve a problem. Sometimes I will gently nudge you to let go of a certain goal, trusting that I have a better plan. By sharing your life with me, you learn the value of my perspective and the comfort of my presence. You begin to realize that no matter how insignificant your concern may seem, I care about every detail of your life. And the more you invite me in, the more you sense that I am always near. In this beautiful journey of faith, remember that you are never alone. Even when you feel isolated in your struggles, my spirit resides within you. This means that the same power that raised Christ from the dead is at work in you, renewing your heart, strengthening your resolve, and guiding you in all truth. Do you see how incredible that is? You are not limited to your own resources or confined by your weaknesses. My power in you is more than sufficient to overcome every obstacle. When you embrace this reality, your confidence in me grows. and you begin to see that there is truly nothing to fear. Your future is secure in my hands. Your present is filled with my presence, and your past is enveloped by my redeeming love. Though the path ahead may have twists and turns, do not be afraid to walk forward. My grace is there for you every step of the way, beckoning you to draw closer, to rely on me more fully. When you stumble or fall, do not give in to shame or defeat. Quickly turn to me, and I will lift you up. Let each day be a fresh start, a chance to renew your trust, a new invitation to rejoice in me. As you take these steps, you transform worry into worship, turning your eyes from the storms of life to the one who reigns over them. In this posture, joy becomes your companion, peace your faithful guardian. Yes, life can be challenging, and you will face storms that test your faith. Yet remember the words of the psalmist who declared that though the earth may give way, though the mountains fall into the heart of the sea, I remain your ever-present help in trouble. These words are not empty promises. They are eternal truths that define the reality for those who trust in me. When fear threatens to drown you, call out to me, and I will remind you of my nearness. You are not left to face the chaos alone. I am your anchor and your refuge, and in my presence, you can find calm no matter how fiercely the winds blow. Let this be your habit. Whenever worry whispers lies to your mind, telling you that you are alone, that your future is doomed, or that your problems are too big, reply with, "My truth." Speak out my promises. You will never leave me nor forsake me. Your plans for me are good. I can do all things through you who strengthen me. As you do this, you break the cycle of anxiety and welcome my peace. You become a person who, though surrounded by reasons to fear, stands firm in confident trust. You become a light to others, reflecting my love and stability in a world often filled with turmoil. Others will see the difference in you and wonder how you remain so calm and hopeful. In those moments, you can share the goodness of my presence. I do not promise you a life without difficulties, but I promise you that you can face them with me. My joy can coexist with sorrow. My peace can conquer fear. My love can heal wounds. And my power can accomplish the impossible. When you see your life from my heavenly viewpoint, you begin to understand that temporary trials are not the end of the story. They are chapters in a greater narrative, one in which redemption, grace, and victory have the final word. I continually invite you to live in that reality, to grow in faith, to be strengthened by my Spirit, and to rest in my promises. Each day is an opportunity to make thousands of small but significant choices. Choose to trust in my provision rather than worry about what might fail. Choose to find reasons to thank me rather than dwell on what you lack. Choose to come to me in prayer rather than flee to distraction. Each of these choices, though small on its own, creates a cumulative effect that shapes your character and draws you closer to me. Over time, you look back and realize that your heart has been transformed. You see how my joy has become a steady undercurrent in your life, even in seasons of pain or uncertainty. You recognize that my peace has guarded your mind, protecting you from crippling anxiety. This is the abundant life I desire for you, a life that is not simply about external success or the absence of problems, but about a profound communion with me that renders you unshakable. Now perhaps you wonder, how do I sustain this over the long haul? Won't I get tired or forget these truths when life gets busy? Understand that you do not sustain it by your own effort alone. My Spirit in you is your helper, your counselor, your comforter, and the one who reminds you of all I have taught. When you remain connected to me through prayer, through reflecting on my words, through fellowship with others who seek me, you stay plugged into an unfailing source of strength. Yes, you will have moments of weakness or forgetfulness, but do not let those moments define you. Return to me quickly. I am never far, never withholding my love. Like a loving parent teaching a child to walk, I am patient with your stumbles and ready to steady you as soon as you call on my name. My beloved, the joy and peace I offer do not depend on your accomplishments, your status, or how problem-free your life appears. They spring from my unchanging character and my promise to be with you always. Therefore, do not judge my faithfulness by the presence of trials. Rather, see each difficulty as a chance to discover the depths of my faithfulness. Over and over again, you will find that I am enough. In your heartbreak, I am your comfort. In your confusion, I am your wisdom. In your fear, I am your courage. And in your despair, I am your hope. Let these truths sink into your soul, fueling your faith and reminding you that you are infinitely loved and eternally secure in my care. I encourage you to pause right now and take a deep breath. Allow the tension in your body and mind to release as you hand your worries over to me. Whisper, "I trust you," or "I still rejoice in you," as a declaration of faith. Notice how even in saying these words, a gentle reassurance begins to settle in your spirit. This is the doorway to my joy that transcends your circumstances. It is not a denial of the challenges you face. It is an acknowledgement that I am greater than those challenges. As you embrace this reality, you step into the life of faith you were always meant to live, a life where you continue to grow in love, in grace, and in hope, nourished by my presence every single day. When you awaken tomorrow, remember that you can start the day anchored in Maine. Before rushing into tasks or distractions, take a moment to acknowledge my presence. Invite me into your schedule, your thoughts, and your emotions. Ask for my perspective, and I will gladly give it to you. As you do this daily, you will find that your spiritual senses become more attuned to my voice. You begin to see blessings in small moments. You catch glimpses of my hand, guiding you in what seemed like random occurrences. You learn that nothing is truly random when you walk with me. Every moment can have meaning and purpose if you open your heart to my leading. Eventually, you will look back on your life and see how each trial shaped you, how each season of waiting strengthened you, how every time you placed your trust in me, it was never in vain. You will recognize that the joy and peace you now experience are the fruit of many choices to abide in me rather than succumb to fear. Your testimony will shine as a beacon of hope, encouraging others who feel trapped in worry or sorrow. You will be able to say with confidence that my joy truly does transcend circumstances, and my peace is real even in the storm. As you meditate on this, let your heart be filled with gratitude. Gratitude shifts your focus from what you do not have to what you already possess in me. It lifts your eyes from your problems to my goodness. It transforms complaining into praise and fear into faith. In this posture of thanksgiving, your communion with me deepens, and your capacity to receive my gifts expands. Let gratitude become a rhythm in your life, a daily, even hourly practice. When you thank me in all circumstances, you are not saying that everything you experience is good, but rather that you trust I will bring good out of everything for those who love me. Take this promise to heart. There is no mountain too high, no valley too deep, no storm too fierce, and no darkness too overwhelming for my presence. I am with you. Lean into me. Surrender what you cannot control, and I will fill you with a peace that stands firm in the midst of chaos. Allow my joy to be your strength, a wellspring that bubbles forth even when your eyes are filled with tears. Rest in the knowledge that you are cherished and held. I speak these words to you with a heart full of love and a desire to see you flourish in every aspect of your existence. Receive this invitation to walk in transcendent joy and abiding peace, regardless of your circumstances. Trust in my sovereign care, and remember that every day is an opportunity to grow closer to me. I take delight in each step you take toward me, and I celebrate your victories, both great and small. In all of it, I remain at your side, whispering reminders of my promises. guiding you through life's intricate pathways and showering you with my grace. Now, with your heart stirred by these truths, I encourage you to take one more step. Stay connected. Continue to seek my presence and share this hope with others. There are many who need the light you carry, the same light I have placed within you. Let them see that joy is not about being immune to hardship, but about finding something greater to cling to in the midst of it. Let them witness how peace can flourish in turbulent times because it is rooted in trust, not in the absence of problems. In doing so, you become my ambassador, extending my love and truth to a world that is hungry for authenticity and hope. My beloved child, never forget that you are deeply loved. Everything I have spoken here is an invitation, not a demand. I offer you my joy, my peace, and my constant companionship, because I care for you beyond what words can convey. As you go forth, let my words resonate in your spirit, guiding you toward a life marked by faith and resilience. Continue to cultivate that faith each day, for the seeds you plant now will become the fruit you harvest in due season. Finally, I ask you to do one more thing for yourself and for those who seek to grow in faith alongside you. Subscribe to this channel. By doing so, you stay connected to messages that can encourage, uplift, and guide you further into the joy and peace I have for you. Take this small yet significant step as part of your journey. Embrace the community of believers and seekers who also long to experience my presence in a deeper way. So, subscribe now, and let us walk this path of trust and hope together.